One of the stories in scripture that has really inspired me over the years is the friendship between Jonathan and David. David was the king of Israel and Jonathan was the son of Saul. And we find this story especially in the book of 1 Samuel. I'll pick it up today from 1 Samuel chapter 23, where David is in his deepest, darkest hole. He's in a situation in his life where he's facing discouragement. He's afraid. You can sense that he has fear in him and in his heart. Why? Because Saul, the king of Israel, was out to kill him. The only thing that Saul wanted to do was to kill David. And so David was on the run. And so in 1 Samuel chapter 23, verse 16, it says that, "And Saul's son Jonathan went to David at Horesh and helped him find strength in God. 'Don't be afraid,' he said. 'My father Saul will not lay a hand on you. You will be king over Israel, and I will be second to you. Even my father Saul knows this.'" And we see here there's a precious gift of friendship between these two gentlemen. You're saying that Jonathan could give David, he couldn't give David the answer. He couldn't give David, what he was able to in terms of answering him and in terms of what Saul wanted to do for him or how he wanted to plot to kill David. But you're finding that Jonathan is stepping in to encourage him, And you also see that Jonathan couldn't stay with David at that particular time because even him, if he was found by King Saul with his father, with what he was doing, he was definitely going to face the music. He's going to face the repercussion. And so Jonathan, in as much as he wanted to be there for David, in as much as he wanted to be present, and consistently stay with David, you're finding in scripture that he's present in terms of encouraging him. He's letting him know that find strength in God. He's helping him find strength in God. And even as you continue this, he's telling him that do not be afraid. Why is Jonathan telling David, his friend, not to be afraid? Because God is going to protect him. In verse 17, "My father Saul will not lay a hand on you." He's reminding David that God is your protector. And because God is your protector, Saul, my father, is not going to lay a hand on you. And this gives David consolation. It gives him consolation and it gives him the ability, the strength to be able to reject fear in his life. And you could be watching this video and you're saying that I'm facing fear. Some of the ways in which you can reject fear is to lean on the promises of God. The other thing that we are seeing from this friendship between Jonathan and David is that Jonathan is reminding David of the promise of God. He says, "You will be king over Israel." He's reminding him what God said in his life. And thirdly, he's telling him that I am loyal to you. In other words, he says, "I will be second to you." This is where Jonathan is showing his support to David and his support to their friendship. And then finally, as we continue in verse 18, it says, "The two of them made a covenant before the Lord. Then Jonathan went home, but David remained at Horesh." And it's a beautiful thing even for us who is watching right now, you who is watching right now, and there's somebody in your life who you can call a friend, just like this friendship between Jonathan and David. It's amazing that we are being encouraged. You can present this friendship to God, that these two made a covenant before the Lord to ensure that their friendship is intact, to ensure that their friendship is knit together. And I find this a precious gift, that in our lives, if you have somebody in your life right now who you can call a friend like Jonathan, it is a precious gift. That this kind of friendship is a precious gift to us from God. And if you're looking for someone, if you're trusting God for this kind of friendship, I pray that God is going to bring the right people your way, people who are going to remind you of the promise of God in your life, just like Jonathan did for David. People who are going to remind you that God is your protector, somebody who is going to come to you during your deepest, darkest hour, and is going to encourage you and let you know that God is your strength. And finally, also, I pray that you're going to be able to get a friend who you can present them before the Lord, and God is going to bless your friendship and give you a covenant friendship. Thank you so much for watching these videos. We look forward to engaging with you on our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And until next time, may the Lord bless you even in your friendships, your covenant friendships. May the Lord bless you in them. Amen.